Oh man, what a great opening. I love this box. Oh man, what a great box. Great opening. Alright, we gotta get editing this opening video right now, man. What day is it? Oh. Oh. Yeah. Oops.
Hey, what's up guys? Icy Soul here for Icy Duelist, bringing you another list on this channel. I apologize I got this video to you guys a day late. The reason for that was, see, for Halloween weekend, I am going up to visit my mom, up near New Hampshire, and she doesn't have any internet up there, so I was so focused on getting the videos done that I would that are scheduled during the time that I'm going to be up there during the weekend. I was focusing, on getting the Legendary Collection 5Ds opening, as well as the Duelist Jamz #2, which unfortunately I'm definitely not going to have any time to do. But I did do the Legendary Collection 5Ds, so that's all taken care of. But I was so focused on getting those done that I totally forgot that I had other content, because I wanted to make sure I got those other videos done before I go to my mom's, because my mom's doesn't have internet, so so I needed to get those done and uploaded for scheduled uploads, and in the process I totally forgot that I had other content this week, including a list and a duel video, so that's why you're seeing both of those today on this channel, and starting with, of course, this list video. So, in the spirit of Halloween, this list is going to be the top 10 creepiest cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! And since I didn't really have time to go through DevPro and and the Yu-Gi-Oh! Wikia and look at all of, the creepy cards and stuff, instead what I did is I looked up on YouTube, and I looked up some other Yu-Gi-Tubers' top 10 and top 5, creepiest Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, and kind of took from those, as well as from my own personal experience of, cards that I've found creepy growing up with Yu-Gi-Oh! For the past, 10 years or so. And I have compiled a list of the top 10 creepiest cards, in my opinion at least, in Yu-Gi-Oh! So without further ado, let's jump into this list. At number 10, we have Dark Necrofear. Dark Necrofear is a card that makes it on a lot of these creepy cards list, and honestly, as a kid, I didn't really find it creepy at all, mostly because I just noticed this kind of scantily clad, blue woman who didn't seem that creepy to me. In fact, she seemed kind of hot. Until I noticed, of course, recently I noticed, and I don't know how I was blind to this for so many years, but she's holding a mangled, severed doll, with its head bashed in. So that is pretty creepy. And I think the only reason why it didn't really make it higher on this list is because, well, she's still kind of hot. So Dark Necrofear, I do realize that it is creepy though, and that's why I wanted to put it on this creepy cards list, and that is why Dark Necrofear is at number 10. Moving on, we have at number 9, Souls of the Forgotten. Now, this is probably a card that you've probably never seen. It never saw any play, and it was kind of one of the cheapo little common cards that was just filler in one of the first few Yu-Gi-Oh! Sets ever released. It was a card that nobody really wanted. It was a toss-away card in the set, and but it was it's a level 2 normal fiend with only 900 attack and 200 defense. Back in the day, that was considered junk, and it still kind of is considered junk, so it kind of got overlooked, but that card art, man, is so creepy. It's like this dark area. I'm assuming they were trying to go for the Shadow Realm in that, but I mean, it could be just any dark, you know, shadowy place, and then you see these, like, ghoulish, like, freaky faces come out of nowhere, and they're basically trying to steal your soul. And I know that's what the card text says. It says a wicked beast spirit, or a wicked spirit created by the hateful souls of those who fell in battle. It grows by assimilating the souls of its enemies. So yeah, it's just creepy. I can imagine like just like having like a dark room and then you see these faces come out of nowhere with their glowing eyes and just creepy. That's why Souls of the Forgotten is at number 9. Moving on to number 8, we have Ill Blood. And Ill Blood is definitely extremely creepy. It's like this wicked, like, fat, like, I'm not saying fat people are creepy, but it's like this wicked, fat, like, almost, like, disproportionately fat, like, weird prison escapee with the glowing red eyes and crazy hair, and for some reason got this crazy face with bulging eyes trying to burst out of him. And I think the concept behind this, like, if you think about it this way, think about, like, it's possibly this, like, deranged murderer or something that, you know, kind of just went crazy, and the darkness inside of him, like, kind of just took over, and that's the person that you see being, like, the body of Ill Blood is, you know, the darkness within him that caused him, like, to kill a bunch of people. And then the face inside of his zipper is actually the good version of him, the sane version of him trying to break out, and but can't break out because he's consumed by darkness. So I mean, it's kind of something I was thinking about, and that kind of makes it even more creepy than just the initial like look of the monster. And Ill Blood, super creepy card. That is why it is at number 8. Moving on to number 7, we have Gimmick Puppet Dreary Doll. I know you guys have heard me talk about this card before and how much I love this card art, but I'm going to talk about it again for this creepy cards list. Yeah, in the uncensored version, it is really creepy. You got this, like, little girl in a coffin, and she's got dried blood everywhere on her dress, dripping from her eye, on her head. It's like she's got, like, shot in the face and, like, then bashed in the head with, like, a blunt object or something, and she was eventually, like, just killed, and then she, like, resurrects from her coffin, and she looks around the room, and then she sees you, and then she stumbles out of her coffin and walks towards you. Of course, she's a puppet, too, because since she is a gimmick puppet, and some people find that even creepier, but I don't think that adds to the creep factor for me. Just the fact that this is a dead little girl, like, rising from the dead and coming to get you, that's pretty damn creepy. So, Gimmick Puppet Dreary Doll, absolutely love this card art. And I know most of the gimmick puppets are creepy, but this one I think is the creepiest, and that is why it landed at number 7. At number 6, we have another old card. This is Clown Zombie. And I'm not one of those people that really finds clowns creepy in and of themselves, but let me tell you, a clown zombie, that is something to be scared of. Just look at him. He's like rotting, and like his suit has all these holes in it, and it's like he like just looks like just a total freak, and he just rises from the dead, probably maniacally laughing like a creepy clown would. And you know, he's got his like what appears to be a scythe with him, and he just like starts chasing you down, laughing, asking you to have some fun with him. Oh god, it's so creepy. And like the card text says, a clown revived by the powers of darkness. Its deadly dance has sent many monsters to their graves. I don't know how that's possible with only 1350 attack and 0 defense, but you know, such is the lore. But still, Clown Zombie, really creepy looking card, and I can imagine this card gave many duelists nightmares back when this card came out. Back in the day, of course, you know, when Yu-Gi-Oh was kind of brand new and all the kids are getting into it. I can imagine this card was probably responsible for quite a few nightmares, and that is why Clown Zombie is at number 6. Moving on to number 5, we have a card that you probably expected to be on this list, Necroface. Necroface seems to make it on a lot of these top 10 lists as well, either in the top spot or close to the top spot. I mean, who can blame anybody? I mean, it is definitely a really, really creepy looking card. It's just like this doll head, or maybe even a real kid, I don't know. But it's like this baby head that has like tentacles growing out of it. Its brain is oozing with like a cancerous like kind of tumor thing, and it's got these really weird cracked eyes. And I don't know if you can really notice it, but one of the eye that's taken up by the cancerous tumor is still kind of there, and it's like it's fallen kind of inside of its head. So it's just so creepy. I mean, I think this card probably got avoided by a lot of people just because of how creepy it was. Like, nobody wanted to play it because it just was so disturbing looking. And not only does it have a really creepy picture, but the effect is like really devastating too, since basically when this card is removed from play, it removes the top 5 cards of both players' deck from play. So it's not a card you want to screw with in the essence of the duel spirit and the essence of the card effect. Like, it is just, you don't want to mess with Necroface. And that is why Necroface is at number 5. Moving on to number 4, we have Fabled Rustos. And Fabled Rustos, I mean, I know there's a lot of other like kind of skeleton and Reaper kind of cards, such as, Reaper of the Cards and Skull Servant and the white cards, like the Lady in White Prince. But I think Fabled Rustos is the creepiest looking of all like the skeleton cards. I mean, look at him. He's like a Grim Reaper, but he's so much more. Like, he's got like the fallen angel wings, like the skeletal fallen angel wings, and he's got like the weird demonic like goat head on his shoulder for some reason. And he's just got those like long red sashes, which it kind of reminds me a little bit of that the anime Hellgirl, where if you untied the red string, Hellgirl would come to kill your victims. So kind of reminds me of that a little bit. And he looks like he's like beckoning you with his hands, calling you to the grave, calling you to your doom. And he's just so creepy. Like, if you like wake up and you see him at the side of your bed calling for you to come to the afterlife, it's pretty creepy. And that's why Fabled Rustos is at number 4. At number 3, we probably have the newest card on this list, and that would be Shaddoll Fusion. And I think Shaddolls and their creepy factor have kind of gotten overlooked simply because of how good they're performing in the meta. But if you actually take a look at the Shaddoll cards, a lot of them are really creepy. And I think Shaddoll Fusion is the creepiest. It's got these like 2 demon-looking things like circling around this hole. And can you imagine like just laying in bed and you wake up and you open your eyes and you see these demons circling you, waiting for you to fall back asleep so they can take your soul or something? Like, it's just creepy ass shit. And they got those like really menacing like evil jaws and like the glowing eyes. Like, yeah, they're so creepy. And I think that yeah, it's just a really creepy card that seems to be getting overlooked because how good the cards are doing today. And I would just not want to see these 2 creepy Shaddoll like monsters circling anywhere around me. That is why Shaddoll Fusion is at number 3. At number 2, we have Wall Shadow. And anybody who's seen the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime knows how freaking terrifying Wall Shadow is. Not only is it a really, really creepy alien-looking thing, kind of reminds me a little bit of the Xenomorphs from Alien, just a little bit, but they have all these like really weird like red eyes everywhere on their body, and they got the long sharp fangs and claws, and they're like dripping with like ooze, and it's just really creepy, but that's not even the creepiest thing about their appearance. Is not the creepiest thing about them. What is the absolute scariest thing about them is that they travel through shadows, and they can travel, as their name suggests, through the walls. So they travel on the walls as shadows. So can you imagine like just being somewhere in like a really like a dimly lit room, and then you see this wall shadow flying around on the walls as a shadow, and then it pops out like behind you and tries to grab you with its claws out of the wall. Just friggin' damn, like, no, I do not want to run into a wall shadow. I don't think anybody would enjoy an encounter with the wall shadow. It's just, this is like nightmare fuel shit right here. That is why wall shadow, its creepy motherfucking ass, is at number 2. And finally, the number 1 creepiest card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a card that I think also kind of gets overlooked. But man, is it creepy. And at number 1 we have Fabled Cruise. And Fabled Cruise, man, it's just so creepy to me. It's like this little girl, little like demon girl with her bat wings, and she's standing in this like dirty old like 17th century dress. And she's definitely doesn't look like she's of this world at all. And she's crying into her palms, very sad and somber, and she's kind of like only has one eye looking up at you while she's crying. And can you imagine just seeing this little kid just standing in like a dark corner crying, and then you like go to try to look at, like, you investigate, go up to see what it's about, and she turns around and she just starts mauling the shit out of you and like just eviscerating you. I can see something like that happening. Like, Fabled Cruise is kind of reminds me a little bit of like Samara from The Ring. That creepy girl from The Ring. Kind of reminds me a little bit of her. Like, no, I don't want to run into Fabled Cruise. Just super uber creepy card. Like, I really hope I don't see. I doubt I would, but if I ever saw a Fabled Cruise like costume on Halloween, just some kid just standing in a corner looking like Fabled Cruise, I'd probably crap myself and run into my room and hide under my bed. I would be like, nope, fuck that shit, I'm out. And that is why Fabled Cruise tops the list. But yeah, that was my top 10 creepiest Yu-Gi-Oh cards list. Remember, if you like this video, to check my channel, subscribe. And as always, we have a new list discussion rant every single Tuesday, new duel video Wednesday, openings every other Friday, Duelist Jamz first Saturday of the month, deck profiles every other Saturday, all this great content. You can catch it all here on Icy Duelist, and as always, this is Icy Soul for Icy Duelist, signing out.